Engineered with all the features, efficiency, and performance of full-size Western V-plows, built specifically for your half-ton truck. For more information, visit westernplows.com.
Mike Bott from Frost Solutions, one of the owners of the company. What we do is provide a mini weather station to give you a tailored forecast to those particular locations so you know where and when and what to do in those parts of town. You know there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways that people can experience tremendous value having a technology like this.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey with your host, Dave Westcott. The Entrepreneurial Journey is a weekly podcast that streams live every Tuesday at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on Dave's YouTube channel and LinkedIn profile. Now here's Dave with this week's episode. Good morning and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott, and I've got with me today special guest Mike Bott, founding partner at Clashmore Ventures and co-owner of Frost Solutions. I also have with me the infamous Todd Chapman, walk-off Final Four basketball player. We're here hanging out, having a good time. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Dave. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
So what's happening where you're at? I see you got a nice basketball photo behind you.
Yeah, you know, it's always good to have MJ in the room, right?
Is that MJ?
I couldn't intensity.
I couldn't tell from the photo. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Is that when he was playing at North Carolina, or was that when he was on the Bulls?
I was on the Bulls. That was, I think that's his first retirement from the Chicago Sun-Times or something, or Chicago Trib. Yeah, I think that was his first farewell.
Okay. Are you?
Todd and I were talking, just a few minutes ago about the intensity of MJ versus the guys these days.
With him in the background, just looking at you, it's like the conversation has to take another level. You know, you just feel like the excellence that he expects. When he's watching.
That's the excellence that Frost Cameras brings to the snow and ice industry.
Love that.
I love it too. We're loving this. We're loving the Frost products. We're having a lot of fun with them. Tell us a little bit about Clashmore Ventures and Frost Solutions.
Yeah, so Mike Kirsch, our business partner, and I, a couple years ago, we went to college together. We used to joke that we had a business together and we're getting back together. Well, we were DJs back in the day, back in college, and we kind of had some nice careers. And a couple of years ago, we said, hey, let's start getting after some things together again. So we make some investments. A lot of times we're looking for industries where they're having a lot of technology to move things forward. And Frost Solutions was one of the companies that kind of got us excited. The snow industry, there's been some innovation, but we see there's a lot of room. And jumped in a little over a year ago. Picked up the assets of a company that was called Frost Control Systems, and kind of rebuilt the company, rebuilt the hardware, software, and we've got a bunch of things that roll out here in the next year or so to help snow pros like you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love the product. As you can see, we're rocking our Frost Solutions shirt, and we've got these on Walmart and Sam's Club distribution center. So we're believing in this product and putting it out for one of the biggest companies in the world. So we're very excited about that. What is it that gets you into this investing? It sounds like you invest in multiple different businesses in the technology center. What is it about that you love?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it kind of comes back to working with entrepreneurs. Helping people with an idea and ambition become themselves and solve some big problems in the world. That's how I got into investing in startups and working with startups. I ran a startup accelerator years ago. Basically, what we would do is take 2 to 3 guys or gals with an idea and take them through an intensive 4-month program to help them figure out: do we have a good team? Do we have the right product? Do we understand the problem we're solving? And then bring them to a place where hopefully they can raise some capital to make that vision a reality. And so that's kind of how I got my feet wet, so to speak, working with early stage entrepreneurs. And it's just something Mike and I enjoy doing, look for opportunities, and you know, it's kind of seeing around the corners sometimes and seeing the enthusiasm these kind of visionaries have, and seeing if we can come along the ride and hopefully make their chances of success a little bit better.
That's awesome. Our show is all about the entrepreneurial journey, and you know, what are, in your experience, what are some of the things that you see that either where entrepreneurs fall short? Where does the big miss happen? I mean, maybe a good miss for you, since you guys get to kind of come in there and inject cash and take some ownership chips off the table and, you know, boost your businesses. But what are some of the areas that they're missing for our viewership? What are some of the things they could do better at?
I think a lot of times when entrepreneurs struggle doing what they're either good at or doing, they're trying to be outside of their comfort zone. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you're going to operate a little bit outside your comfort zone. Sometimes they forget to bring the people around and build the right team to increase chances of success. So I'd say the first thing is surrounding yourself with the right resources, the right talents, and understanding what you're good at and what you're not good at. Like, hey, you know what? I shouldn't be sending out invoices because those are going to come out 6 months late, and we're not cash flow issue. You just got to understand who you are. So I would say that's one. The second one is just understanding that it's going to suck at times, and you need to be super resilient to be able to get through something. You may have the best business plan, but timing matters, availability of capital matters, ability to attract talent matters, customers understanding what it is you're selling matters, how you're framing it up matters. So it's just making sure you're resilient, and knowing that it's going to get really hard, and you know, those your spouse, or you know, your kind of your close family group that's going to support you, make sure that you're willing to some of those ups and downs with them, because they may just hear the ups and you be on an island by yourself on those low points.
Yeah, that island is a big deal for sure, and that's a really tough spot to be, because it's hard to have people to talk to. It's hard to get that. You know, it's really hard as an entrepreneur to come home and talk to your family about the downs.
Yeah,
because they don't stop worrying about it. You know what I mean? They don't. Like your wife at home, poor wife at home, you know, she hears the downs on a Tuesday night, and Wednesday morning you fix the down, but she doesn't know you fixed the down, and she's carrying that with her, and it's Saturday, and she's like, oh, are we moving? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
She hasn't slept for 3 days, and you know, you're already on 3 things later, right? Because you didn't close the loop. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's what's so tough about it. So Frost Solutions. We've got a weather camera system, and just some of the things that I'm loving about it, and tell me if we are off on anything, because you're the expert. But what we love is it's super simple to put together. So we actually built a how-to video on the Frost product. It's going to be coming out here very soon, which is pretty awesome. And the team was like, wow, that thing was so easy to assemble and so easy to put together. We're loving that. And then from the management standpoint, it's giving us dew point on the sites. It's giving us weather temps on the sites. It's giving us snow accumulation on the sites. So one of the things that, you know, customers often have a problem with, or is actually a trend in the industry, is over servicing, over billing. And just for example, the Seattle market, we're going to get 28 freezing days roughly in this market over the winter season. And during that 28 days, there's probably really only 8 days of service time where dew point or moisture is prevalent, and we're hitting 32 degrees, and those two things are intersecting, which really is when we're supposed to or should be servicing. So what you're kind of looking at there, and of course every season is different, and every site is different, and every site requirement is different, but really that reduces the amount of servicing by almost 64, 63%, which relates to a huge cost savings to a customer when we're able to really ensure that we have accountability in sight. That's one of the things that I love about the Frost system. And then really the second thing is just slip and fall management. You know, like if somebody wants to come out and nail us on a slip and fall, hey, you weren't there. Well, we just serviced 10 minutes ago. What are you talking about? You can still see the ice melt in the video. So those were some of my big takeaways. Todd, I don't know if you have any in there. But Mike, that's kind of what I took away from it. Anything that I might have missed?
No, that's spot on. I mean, it's amazing for folks that are using air temperature to make their decisions, how much they're missing, not having dew point, not having pavement surface temperature. I think pavement surface temperature we met. I was just looking at one of our customers in the Boston area. They cover maybe 20 square miles, and they have four of our units set up. Pavement temperature varied 10 degrees just in that small space. And so if you're thinking about how much the material to put down, the equation's quite different from one location to another. And if you don't have that information, you're either going to be over servicing, like you said, Dave, or not protecting yourself adequately by servicing appropriately. On the slip and fall, right on. I mean, when we took over this business a little over a year ago, we went out to a bunch of the Frost customers, the legacy customers, said, hey, this is due diligence. What works, what doesn't work, how do you use this, how do you wish you could use this, what other problems you're having. And they said, especially the guys in the Northeast, they said, litigation here is getting crazy. And it's like the last day. If there's a 3-year statute of limitations, they're coming on the last day. And we just have to hope we have our records in place. We said, well, why don't we take a ton of extra photos? So you're going to see photos every 20 minutes. You're going to request them on demand, Dave. But we're also storing photos every 4 minutes on the camera itself. So if there's a case that comes through, you're going to be within a few minutes of when that person said they fell. You're really going to be protected. We've got data points every minute. So the thing is, you've got this nice backstop for you if something does go wrong. And the rest of the time, you just focus on operating more proficiently and efficiently.
And I love that because it's about verification as well. You think of all of our customers and the reporting expectations that they have to verify the service. It's also, for us, utilizing a subcontracting network, verifying the reporting is accurate because even, obviously there's always workarounds with any technology. But when the sub says, hey, I was on site, I serviced this, we can verify it utilizing the technology too. And I think that's great for our team on the ops side, to hold accountability. Not that that's the purpose of it, but I think that verification on both sides of the customer and the sub. So it's great.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? Let me tell you a story. Not that you want to hear my stories, but I'm going to tell you a story about a slip and fall. So it's like 2007, and I'm working with Walmart. Maybe it's 2006. I don't know. But I'm working with Walmart, and I get a notice in the mail that you have a slip and fall. And now I get the slip and fall, and it's like one of the first slip and falls I ever got. And it's like, I've got to indemnify, I've got to defend. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And so I sent it over to my attorney. I'm slightly panicked about what's going on. And my attorney does some digging, and come to find out that the guy who claimed the slip and fall is in prison. Okay? He's currently in prison. What is he in prison for? He's in prison for fraud. Now, what they find is that during the first report of the accident, he hurt his left arm. And then in the second report, he claimed it was his right arm. So in talking to two different people, he gave two different arms that were hurt. He couldn't even remember his own story. We're trying to settle this thing out. At the time, there was a clause in the contract that was basically like, hey, you don't get paid until you settle the claim. So I can't get this big chunk of cash that I need to run my business until I settle this slip and fall claim. And I'm just stressing, and this thing is going on and on. And to be honest, we're like 8 months into it, where like we can't get this thing settled. The guy's in jail. My lawyer has to get a meeting with his lawyer. They go up to the jail. Something happens there. And at the end of the day, we end up settling this thing to get rid of it for 10 grand. 10
How much did you
grand.
pay your lawyer?
Yeah. And probably, the lawyer I think back in the day, it was only $250 or $300 an hour, but still, there's probably another 6 to 10 grand probably paid out there. But the point of this is that, that's a fake slip and fall claim, even though it was fake. The cost of going to court, waiting till the guy gets out of jail or whatever we had to do, the time, the money that it was tying up on the back end to get paid, all of those stressors, the guy not settling it out, the guy being in jail, the guy being in jail for fraud, like all of these things added up to, really affecting at the time, just a small business. At the time, we only had 3 snowplow trucks. We were just brand new into this snowplow thing. It's not like we had 200 trucks on the road and we could absorb it and just wait. But it had a big impact in our winter services. And so what I love about Frost is that people are gonna claim slip and falls, and you're right, they're gonna claim them after the part. And the thing, about contractors and about businesses, most business they're not amazing at keeping records or past records, or even knowing where the titles are for their pickup trucks that they currently own can be a disastrous issue. So the benefit to the Frost camera is, if I would have had the Frost camera on that site at that time, whatever it cost me, $2,500, if I've got that on the site at the time, that saves me that entire slip and fall, probably. Not to mention the legal fees, we'll just budget 10 grand. The payout will budget 10 grand, 20 grand it cost us, not to mention probably the 5 or 6 grand that we lost in just the time that it took to get our money, because your money becomes less valuable, right, the longer it's in somebody else's hands. So we lost money there too. And the beautiful thing about that investment into that Frost camera is that you don't have to, in all circumstances. I mean, I know that there could be real slip and falls. As long as you're doing your job correctly, that camera on site's going to give you the data that's going to help you prevail in some of these big lawsuits, with the average slip and fall cost being about $48,000 to $50,000.
And I love that, because you think of the small business owners, right? I mean, the large companies, right, that are out there, but it's those small snow providers, like where Dave was, back in the day with those few trucks. A slip and fall, or even the potential slip and fall, and going through that legal process may make or break the business, right? I mean, it's so imperative. So there might be those guys out there thinking, man, that this is another cost. Can I afford this? But you think on the back end, what that could save you, and potential losses, is so key for the average small business owner and snow provider out there.
That's exactly right. And even just the time. I mean, if you've got 3 guys and one of them has to be out of a truck or not focusing on how to make the business better because you've got to fight, this lawsuit, it's not a good use of your time. And that's one of the reasons we got excited about this, is how, we want to make sure there's multiple ways this is going to provide value. It's going to make you better operationally. It's obviously going to create this, kind of backstop in cases where it's a legitimate or illegitimate slip and fall claim. And then you can save money on materials. That's kind of our thing, is we got to have 3 ways that this makes sense for our customers, and those are our 3.
Let's go through those one more time for the audience. So number 1 is, what is number 1 again?
Number 1 is, we'll just start with number 1. We'll say it's the slip and fall liability protection.
Slip and fall, love that.
Documenting everything for you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 is saving money on your operations. Instead of having some guy drive out 45 minutes to see if it's snowing at a location, just look in the camera. Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
And then, as part of the operations there, we're going to give you a forecast of what's going to happen in a few hours for that particular GPS coordinate. So you can get even sharper on what's going to happen right there. And then the third area is just saving you money on materials. So let's say you're over salting, because the temperature's off. You don't need to use as much when it's 30 degrees as when it's 25 degrees, right? So getting really sharp on those pieces as well.
That's awesome. So we've got slip and fall protection. We've got saving operations money because we don't have to send crews and people out to take a look at sites. We can look into the camera and we can see what's going on, getting those real-time reports. We've got awesome predictability for what's happening, in the future. That's kind of a part of number 2. And then we're reducing the spend on materials because we are applying the correct amount of material based on the exact weather conditions of the site. That's awesome. And a lot of times we may be even able to pass the cost of the unit on to our clients, so that they say, hey, well, we have access to this as well. We have another layer of accountability. We can, if we're a property manager, we can prove to our clients, hey, the service was done. It was done properly. It wasn't over-serviced. Because the snow fluctuates so much that one year you can have a budget of $10,000 for a location, but you can blow that by January in another storm, and we'll have spent $40,000. And they're like, hey, how come we blew the budget? We paid too much money. No, it just snowed 4 times more than it did right the last year. So those things can really be effective. So those are my big 4 on that. What other cool things are you guys investing in? What other cool things do you guys have on the market?
Yeah, so one of our companies is a bathroom cleaning robot. It's called Somatic. That's something that Clashmore is invested in. When I was running innovation for Circle K, the big convenience store chain, and the 2 jobs people hated doing the most at a convenience store are stocking the beer cooler and cleaning bathrooms, in that order. The thing they would rather clean bathrooms than stock the beer cooler.
Really?
Maybe they don't like the cold. But so we started looking for problems like that are there solutions out there? How can we clean the bathrooms without having someone making minimum wage do it? So we found this company. This guy's built this robot that does a fantastic job. It's all touchless, cleans the floors, cleans the mirrors, cleans the the urinals and toilets, and it's much cheaper than paying labor to do it.
And what's the name of this one more time?
Somatic. Somatic.
Somatic. This is awesome. We're also in the janitorial business, and I'm just, I'm thinking about taking a look at this and saying, listen, can we replace the human cleaner with the somatic cleaner? Because I'll be honest with you, our janitors also hate cleaning the toilets and the bathrooms, and it is also one of those things that is not very popular. And in fact, I think I should get a couple of them for my house, because I don't know that my family does a great job of cleaning the bathroom on a daily basis either.
You'll like this, Dave. I was at a hospital in Chicagoland when they were demoing the very first unit. And there's this guy who is called him a handler, who would kind of make sure it was going the right place, didn't run into a person, didn't break anything. Like, these are kind of early days. And now the handler doesn't exist. Like, you basically put it there, program it once, and it's programmed remotely, and now it just cleans and then drives back to wherever it's supposed to recharge and rewater and whatever. And so I'm standing in the bathroom for like 3 hours just watching it do different things. Hey, let's try this, let's try that. And this, doctors are going to the bathroom, leaving. And finally, the guy came back. It was the second time he come back in that time frame. He's like, hey, I get one of these at home. Like, I'm trying to find something for my wife for Christmas. I was like, this is not what you should be getting your wife for Christmas. This is not.
I was gonna knock something off the Christmas list, but I was like, man, if Katie happens to watch this could end up, I could have a Christmas on the couch,
You know what? Christmas on the couch is not a bad thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Christmas on the couch, you can watch all your favorite movies. After you've been married a while, it's kind of like, anyway. So, I mean, and then you don't have the kids coming in and knee bombing you at 7:00 in the morning waiting for to open up presents.
It's a nice switch up. Okay.
It's a nice switch up. Listen, Christmas
Somatic.
on the couch.
Sign it up, Mike.
I actually like the sound of it. Christmas on the couch, brought to you by Somatic. No, but here's the truth.
You got to have Michael, the CEO, on. That guy he's a riot. So.
You know what? Let's set it up. Let's get him on the call. We'll have a good time with him. We always love new innovations and new products, but I'll tell you this, as a father of, and I think that might have been the first time I've ever called myself a father, but as a father of small boys, I'm going to be honest with you. They have not learned to aim. And so occasionally,
they don't learn that in school, do they?
No, I mean, you know what? Sometimes you come into the bathroom and you think, how did you get it all the way over there? I mean, that is some serious trajectory that you've got going on, Val. I don't even know. Get in here and clean this toilet. What have you done? I can't believe you did it again. Don't you know you're supposed to pee into the water?
And your boys are a little younger, but I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I thought it would evolve, and improve. It hasn't improved that much, in our household with a preteen. So it's still a work of art.
Yeah, I often.
Maybe that's a business opportunity.
It's a what?
I don't know.
You never know what's going to happen
that's
here.
A business opportunity, teaching games. Yeah.
I think it may be a good business opportunity, and I think that the real business opportunity comes into the sports arena. I don't know if you've ever been to a sports arena, but if you have to go to the restroom and, God forbid you have to go sit down in a restroom at a sporting event. I mean, it is literally like you are stall hunting. Oh, my God. Which stall am I possibly going to risk sitting down on in here? This is going to be absolutely freaking brutal. I almost have a panic attack at this particular moment. And, I feel like the somatic at that point. So, listen, here's the deal. What we need to do is we need to get the somatic into NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB stadiums to go do quick cleans continually in between the period breaks so that when everybody comes back to re-thrash, that the restrooms are clean, right? And if we can get this thing into the stadiums, we have literally solved some lifelong problems.
Somatic, the thrashing version,
Thrash mode.
the new update.
All right, that's awesome. So what else are you invested in?
We've got a company called Shift Smart. So that's a gig worker platform. And basically, think about all these people that have gone to work for Uber or DoorDash or something like that. A lot of reasons they do that is because they want to control their schedule. They don't want to have to be at the mercy of someone else saying, nope, we need you there from 7 a.m. to noon, and then you've got the overnight shift next week, whatever. They need to work around their schedules. So Shift Start is a platform where you can go in and select, the types of work you want to do. So I want to go in and I love cleaning bathrooms. I'll take a couple-hour block and clean all the bathrooms in the area. I do it on my own schedule. And likewise, maybe I'm going to go in and stock the beer cooler, just using those same tools. So it allows people to control, I want to make a little more money this week. So I work a 9 to 5 over here, but I want to pick up some extra shifts here and there. Just another way to kind of adapt to this gig worker mentality where people want to have a little more control over when and where and how much money they can make. So that's a fun one. Another one that's actually in professional sports arenas, it's called Mashgin, Ashgin. It's a computer vision self-checkout machine. So instead of having this, most of the time when you check out at a store, you have to scan barcodes. You just put all your stuff on the table. It takes pictures of the item, instantly identifies it. Okay, that's a bag of Cheetos, that's a Dr. Pepper, that's a pack of gum, and it rings it up immediately. It makes the transactions faster, and it actually cuts down on theft quite a bit as well.
Wow!
And when you're at a sporting, it's being able to get through that line a little bit faster is all the difference between missing the goal and not, right?
This is a big deal.
It is.
You know what? This is a problem at concerts. I'm just gonna say that, or you sport, like you can go in and you are dying. You didn't get to the food place, before you went into the arena. You're thinking, I'm gonna get a drink. Maybe it's an alcoholic beverage. Maybe it's an adult beverage, and the line is like 100 people deep. It's insane. You're thinking, I got to get a beer and I got to use the restroom. Both lines are 100 people deep. Which one am I going to choose?
You can only choose one.
You can only choose one, but
Beer,
you got to
though,
do
right?
both.
Yeah.
Right?
Between Mash Gin and Somatic, I mean, you're going to make Dave's concert and sporting event experience top notch.
No,
I
listen,
can see
I
it.
actually figured it out. Here's what you do. You only sell beer in the cans, and you have a big cooler that's like a wall. And as you're going to the bathroom, you just grab the amount of beers you want to take with you. You walk out. The pictures take the camera as you're walking out. You pee and you grab your beer all at the same time. You've solved 2 problems at once. You are now a hero. And man, that's pretty awesome. So these are some amazing businesses that you guys. These really sound like some fun stuff. So I think one of the questions that might really appeal to entrepreneurs is entrepreneurs get distracted by shiny objects. They start starting so many things. I think the idea of being a visionary, the idea of being an entrepreneur is. They don't want to do just one thing. They want to do like 10 things. I also suffer from this disease. And so hence the reason why we're on the show today, because one thing isn't good enough. So with all of these businesses that you guys own, invest in, so on and so forth, how do you spend your time? How do you even have the bandwidth to have all of these, businesses under your umbrella? How do you have managers? How do you do this?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I that's the thing with entrepreneurs. There's always like, I can do that. I can do that. You just find time, sleep a little bit less.
Yep.
We've all got a bunch of kids as well, so it's not like we're skimping on some parts of life. For Mike and I, for Clashmore Ventures, the way we've approached it is we're going to have a couple things that we're hands-on involved with. And for us, like I'm spending 90+% of my time on cost. Same with Mike. A lot of these other investments are passive. And so we make sure there's a strong CEO. We make sure the ways we can help with a phone call or with a 30-minute, let's just have a chat, or I can introduce you to someone. Those are the ways we want to be able to help them beyond just the capital. And so, it's having conversations like this, getting names out. It's saying, hey, let me introduce you to so-and-so because I think they could be a really great, first customer, second customer, whatever. But it's a balancing act. We know we can't go 100% in and spend all our time on 3 different things. It's not possible, and all of them are going to suffer. What's funny about Somatic, Mike, my business partner, all this is really good at its supply chain, chatting logistics.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, let me help you get these robots from, their manufactured part of them in Ukraine. I'm going to help you get them over from Ukraine, the States. And he's like, no, I don't want your help. He's like, what do you mean? Because I can't fire you. We're like, okay, this is a good sign. The guy understands where the lines are. And Mike, we don't need to allocate too much time to help this guy. Whereas other entrepreneurs, when we talk to them, when we're going through due diligence, we might say, hey, these guys are going to take way too much of our time to be successful. And that's not always what we can offer at that time. So it's a little bit self-aware of how much capacity you do have to give to some of these and how much those companies are really going to need from you to be successful.
That's awesome. What is the number one question that you might be asking to determine how much time they're going to take? Or how do you find that?
I think it's just getting to know them a little bit. I think it's offers like Mike made. Sometimes you can see. Sometimes it's throwing, hey, have you thought about this? And sometimes it's easy. I think a lot of investors, aspiring investors will start saying, what about this? Can we add this to your roadmap? And if that entrepreneur is ready to just dive into all their ideas and start building them, start spending money, it's not the right person. I think that's probably the biggest red flag is if they don't have their own vision, especially when you're having those initial conversations, if they're too quick to jump after your vision, they don't have a North Star that they're going to be building the company on. And talking about the ups and downs with entrepreneurship in general, I'm sure you had a North Star where you wanted to go, when you first got into the snow business. And that's allowed you to get there.
Yeah.
If you could be easily distracted or taken track by other people's ideas, you can be wasting a lot of time and a lot of money and not being any closer to where you really should be going.
Yeah, that's awesome. As we start to bring this thing in for a landing, what's one tool that you would provide one of the businesses that you are invested in, owner in, whatever? What's one tool that you would provide to them that you'd like to see them using that'll help them build a better business?
For Frost or these other companies?
And I guess any, just in general.
Yeah. I think it's, one thing that I always hope to share with a company is a little bit of either my network or experience. And it depends, the analogy I use is I look at the company as a piece of Swiss cheese, and we figure out where we can fill the holes. And so it matters from company to company where they need help. Like I might, they may need help with pricing strategy, and I might be great at pricing strategy, so I'm going to help there. They may need an introduction to a big hospital system, and I can help them there. So it's just identifying kind of one-to-one where those gaps are, where they need help, and if there's a pairing to what I know how to do, or what my network can help them with.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic answer to that question. So we're here talking about Frost. Just as a reminder for our audience, this is a fantastic product. Whether you are a DOT or a city or a big box customer, putting these on your property helps reduce slip and falls, saves ops money, provides predictability, and reduces materials. If you're a contractor, same thing. Great for you to be able to have that visibility, so you have many different opportunities for this product. We believe in this product. We think it's fantastic, and we actually believe in this product as a game changer, as a key differentiator. So you actually list out, your key differentiators: slip and fall, saving ops money, and materials. And when we're talking to a prospective snow client, we went through some training with your team. It was really nice on the, on how to sell the product and the features and benefits of the product. And we actually add this in as one of our key differentiators to our clients now. It is one of our selling tools. I think we've pitched it, 12, 13, 14 times now, since we've got engaged. And it has a lot of, oh, wow, that's really cool. Oh, wow, we get a lot of positive feedback. So it's one of the things that we're actually using as a key differentiator as a snow provider. So it's a really exciting thing. Mike, anything else that we should know before we bring this in for a close?
I think we got through the big steps. I think a couple of things we're excited about coming up in the next month. We're going to start using AI with these images, and it's both going to help make the forecast better, because you've all seen it. The radar says it's going to snow in 30 minutes, but you look outside and it's snowing right now. We're going to take those data points and fold those into our forecast to make that stronger. And I'd say the other thing is we're going to allow you to set alerts off of what we're seeing in the images. So a lot of times, especially some of our customers that have quite a few of these sensors, they can have someone full time flipping through photos to see what's going on at these locations. We're going to just tell you what's going on. Hey, that lot has snow. That lot is half plowed. That lot
is awesome.
A bare pavement. So that's coming soon. And again, ways to save you money. Like sending that guy 45 minutes, you don't have to do that, and you don't need to have someone monitoring these things, because the right person's going to get a text message when that thing they want to see is happening.
Man, that's really, really cool. I have another business called Condo Shield, and I was talking to a prospective client last Friday, and they were saying that they have to do site walks in the neighborhood. Hey, did you bring your garbage can up? Hey, did you mow your lawn? This really petty stuff that HOAs deal with. And what they were saying was that the HOA management company sends out a company called 360 cameras or something, and these are people who have cameras on their vehicles. They drive through, and then they take video of everybody in the neighborhood, and then they get billed for that. And then they bring that footage. It goes back to the to the management company, and then the management company bills them to look through the software and look through the pictures and look through what you're talking about. And so, this is something that 52% of all Americans live in an HOA, right? It's the number one way that property is built now today. But they're literally, just getting nickel and dimed to death on what it costs to do a site walkthrough. And so I love that what you're doing is you're basically removing that labor from having to go through and dive into all of that content, which can take time. And with our human eyes, we know we can glaze over. We see the same thing over and over again. We begin to glaze over to it. So those alerts seem so powerful just in the fact that, oh, did that site have snow? Oh, was there de-icer on that site? Oh, what was being able to set those alerts and those notifications that give you advanced track warning to be able to up your level of service. So not only now are we more predictive, not only are we reducing labor, but we're now able to increase the customer experience by providing AI-driven alerts. I just get more and more excited about your products all the time. I love that we work together. I think every snow contractor in America, all 39,000 of them, should be buying your product. And we're going to continue to tell them that on a daily basis because we love how you guys are changing the industry. Todd, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, I think what I'd like to say is, one, I mean, just love the work you do, and just working with entrepreneurs, and in my background being the franchising, it's just that entrepreneurial journey. And one thing you said, just to reiterate, is just, for the entrepreneurs, is finding those gaps, know yourself. And one thing I think that you and Mike have both identified is like knowing what you guys are good at and then attacking it. So, keep up the good work, and keep modeling yourself after MJ in the background there, and you'll be solid. So appreciate it, Mike.
Go. All comes to MJ.
That's right.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have happy holidays.
Thank you, my friend. Happy holidays. Fantastic show. And I also love MJ.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We will actually. We did the wave a little too early. We did the wave a little bit too early. Listen, we got a little bit carried away with Thanksgiving.
Encore.
Encore. This is the encore. Ralph, can we bring up the Frost website on our show here? Can you make that possible? We need to get him working because he's just been over there. I don't. If I say slacking, he'll hurt his feelings.
I've been over here
but he's not been
monitoring
slacking.
everything.
He's been just hanging out and doing his thing. So but we got to tease him from every so often.
We will
listen, this has been a fantastic show. We are on 9:15 a.m. every Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time. If you liked this show, give us a like, give us a share. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on LinkedIn. Dave Westcott. Look up the Frost Solutions. We're going to throw it on the website. We're going to throw it here up on the show. And at the end of the day, give them a like on LinkedIn, give them a follow, check out their website, follow them on all of the social channels that they're on. I'm sure that they're everywhere out there. But thank you very much for joining in on our show. It's been another fantastic episode of the entrepreneurial journey here with Frost.
Mike Bott from Frost Solutions, one of the owners of the company. What we do is provide a mini weather station to give you a tailored forecast to those particular locations so you know where and when and what to do in those parts of town. There's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways that people can experience tremendous value having a technology like this.
Introducing the all-new Western Enforcer V-Plow. Engineered with all the features, efficiency, and performance of full-size Western V-Plows, built specifically for your half-ton truck. For more information, visit westernplows.com.